Before 2022, millions of Zambian children stayed home, not because they didn't want to learn, but because school was unaffordable for many families. Today, things are much better. No more tuition fees, no more PTA fees, and no more examination fees. More than 2.5 million children are back in class across the country, from villages to towns, from the cities to the districts and provinces. Schools are feeding our children and classrooms are full again. And with the Enhanced Constituency Development Fund, communities around Zambia are transforming education. More classrooms are being built, more desks are being made, more teachers are being hired. Because Bali cares. He has delivered this for all children across Zambia. Because free education is not just a policy, it is a promise to every Zambian child, a promise that poverty will not decide their future. A promise delivered.
What do we stand for? We stand for possibility, for the belief that every tomorrow begins with a choice made today. We stand for growth, for curiosity that pushes boundaries, for knowledge that prepares you not just to adapt, but to lead. We stand for community, for minds that don't just think, but connect, for hands that don't just build, but uplift. We stand for experiences that shape you, for friendships that anchor you, for courage that carries you beyond this place. Here you become more than a student. You become a maker of solutions, a believer in dreams, a contributor to something greater than yourself. This is where purpose meets possibility. This is where futures are built. Chas Brookbasar University, where you stand for what matters.
Nangu kwenda so panopo ndine ndedina nangu bana nimbale shokwenda oko balindebe fatimule.
Hello, welcome to Prime TV2 News. This is the home of breaking news, and we're coming to you live on Top Star Channel 110 and streaming on our Facebook page PTV2 Zambia. Now let's take a look at stories making headlines. A 36-year-old woman of Mwilaba village in Kapiri, Mponshi district of Central Province has been left homeless after her ex-husband allegedly set her house. Family left homeless after house collapses amid heavy rains in Mansa. The Zambia United States Exchange Alumni Association, ZUSEA, has appealed to parents and guardians of children with autism to stop hiding them in their homes. A police chief inspector under the Victim Support Unit VSU, Peg Malambo, has testified in court that a 10-year-old girl narrated how she was sexually abused on separate occasions by her biological father and two stepbrothers. With the main news in detail, my name is Maidon Kilalo. A 36-year-old woman of Mwilaba village in Kapiri, Mponshi district of Central Province has been left homeless after her ex-husband allegedly set her house on fire following the dissolution of their marriage. The victim, Agnes Mumba, told PTV2 News that she now lives in fear, claiming her former husband has continued to threaten her after she decided to end the marriage due to persistent disputes. Meanwhile, Ms. Mumba's brother, Wonderful Bota, narrated that the suspect also attacked him and his family on Saturday night at the residence. Joseph Sambihi has the details.
Nangu kwenda so panopo ndine ndedina nangu bana nimbale shokwenda oko balindebe fatimule ikala munganda. So life ifutaidi bontuli mu danger.
She is living in fear together with her children due to life-threatening actions by her ex-husband. This is Agnes Mumba of Mwilaba village in Kapirimposhi on Friday, 27th of February 2026, Agnes Mumba's house was gutted, an allegation leveled against her ex-husband identified as Shadrick Zulu.
Pa Friday, kuma 21:20, ero nafuminepo. Twaile ku church twalikweta overnight. After twafika kule ku church, twalipa doors zebasha. Funa ishire monako ku do ba Shadrick Zulu balengila. Ishi nabakulu bayishire baleshana filia balelishana eminsoli. Asha washere pa do ofu abekete mule akuisa ndefo kuya kuntanshi mule kanya muno mchechi oke mwantamfya naya efe bafumini ba Shadrick Zulu wabali abalume bandine umwana wanzi ewakwete phone yandi ofo aishire isoponadi ata mami phone ile lila balande fo kubatumina ofo baishire tumani ni bena muli kuisa imwe nata tuli ku chechi muli ku chechi awo bwereni endesheni nombalini bwereni ofo twashire fika pano panga ndanalisangira abantu baleshimya omuliro nshina abakolonga nafya bengi ofo twayimine twana ku police ku centro twafika ku centro kulya twalembesha fyonse ofo twafumeko ku 03 ku central police.
And Wonderful Bota, brother to Agnes Mumba, briefly explained how he survived an attack on Saturday while seated with his wife and sister.
Firovine njikeri. So, wa madamu bali pantanshapa. Bale ipika. Na mfafe wa madamu wapunda ati, so para wapunda ati, ine naringira panshapa pa matawozi. So, bricks ya isa ponena na hapa. Puu! Kona habu tukire njise ndoreje. Kwisa muna ni uyu ine wari muramu wani Shadrick Zulu. Wa polisi tuwafueni. Biwazi tuwaritire report ilili ashi. Bati, tamwaisa muku itateni. Uyu muntu, arefu wa kutuipai. So, ngari njipa ya mairoine.
Currently, Agnes and her family have no peace until the suspect is caged. More to follow on the story. Joseph Siambehi reporting, Prime 2 News in Kapirimposhi.
A family in Kanyanta township of Mansa district is living in fear of sleeping in the cold after their house partially collapsed following persistent heavy rains in the area. Mansa district has continued to experience heavy rainfall, which has damaged infrastructure in several communities and flooded crop fields, raising concern among residents. The affected homeowner, Barbara Mlenga, told PTV2 News that part of her house collapsed after a heavy downpour. More in the following report.
Kanyanta community in Bahati constituency of Mansa district is among the areas severely affected by the ongoing heavy rains. One of the affected residents, Barbara Mlenga, explained that part of her house collapsed following the heavy downpour.
Mkaine nalifuma pona ile mpanga ile nomba bana bayinuko kufuma ku school so pali fyaka icheka grade 3 ero kaingire munganda nishimfula na ise ikuru sana efu nombo mwana ishire mfafa chati mpu chapo nesa moneko kuyaita abantu senu monenga ndande isana sanga fya menshiyeka yeka mungande mfula na ichira monshibe no foto wala ikala so apa mone tubikira ko fya ma plastic kuti twambye kula ikala ko bwino no mashibe fya obuteko bwinga tuchitirako ne foto wala sunga abana.
The persistent rains have also flooded crop fields, raising serious concerns among community members.
Amabala nayo naika naye ebiliro na tuteire wala nokubola. Imbalala amataba fyonse na fyonaika. Mensheka ikafye mumabala. Mukayo uteko butwafueko twalira. Ishima na toilet na fisanka na menshi kansha marwele yalapuka muno mumushi. Mushi mwa Kanyanta. Yengi aso tambe dairia kuba naye nandika tuishi tapapata twafueni mwe buteko. Twafuirisheni umulonga ule pitafye mumayanda.
Meanwhile, Florence Chongo expressed concern over the health risks facing the community. She says shallow wells and pit latrines have been submerged, creating fears that contaminated water sources could expose residents to waterborne diseases.
Na tukwata fyo buchushi bwa kwisurirwa mayanda ama toilets kumulandu nemfule irero ko mpamba kuno. Taturuwo kwa kulole fishima na ama toilet amenshi yaresanka na tureruwo kwa kunwa menshi. Amayanda yengina yawa kumulandu na menshi kumfule iro kere. Tuwapapa tanga kuti kuri febenga tuwafuako kuno kukalenga tuwaibirirwa tuwabundirwa nefya kuri efingi fye pareme mumushi na fye fili na menshi.
Residents are now calling for urgent intervention to prevent further damage and protect the well-being of the community. Pascal Mukavida, Prime TV News in Mansa, Luapula Province.
In more news, the Zambia United States Exchange Alumni Association, ZAMBIA, has appealed to parents and guardians of children with autism to stop hiding them in their homes. ZAMBIA Southern Province Chapter Coordinator Edward Siwene has however called for greater awareness and acceptance of the condition. Mr. Siwene notes that autism remains poorly understood by many people, including some health and education practitioners. Kwalombota Mwanangombe has the details.
The importance of inclusivity in national developmental agenda cannot be overemphasized. To this effect, the Zambia United States Exchange Alumni Association is calling for more research and programs pertaining to children with autism. Southern Province Zambia United States Exchange Alumni Association Coordinator Edward Siwene notes that many parents in local communities have children with autism, but that most of these children are kept in homes, denying them chance to be part of the changing society.
There is a lot of research that needs to be done around this condition, as many practitioners, even within our countries, do not actually understand some of these conditions that our children actually go through. You can go in the communities, a lot of underreporting of such cases. A lot of other parents actually hide some of these children in their households.
He said this when his foundation donated mattresses, among other items, to Simon Emmanuel Foundation for Children with Autism in Livingstone. He has since commended the Simon Emmanuel Foundation for taking a bold step in championing the welfare of children with autism.
So as ZAMBIA Southern Chapter, we applaud the initiative that Doc here, the director of the foundation, actually came up with to bring these children together, give them the support, the mentorship, and all the necessary resources that they need for them to grow up into meaningful and complete citizens.
And Simon Emmanuel Foundation for Children with Autism Director, Dr. Patricia Lwendo, says her foundation ensures inclusive education.
Autism presents unique challenges, but with the right support, patience, and opportunities, our children can achieve remarkable growth. As an organization, the Simon Emmanuel Foundation for Children with Autism, we are committed to inclusive education. We are committed to awareness. April will be Autism Awareness Month, and for parents like us with children with autism, awareness is every day and throughout the year.
Chiku Ikakena is a Simon Emmanuel Foundation for Children with Autism board member.
When we talk about supporting autism, we are talking about creating a world where every individual is embraced for their unique strengths, not just their challenges. So together we are building a world where our children are not just accepted, but they are also celebrated.
With an inclusive policy reforms in many sectors in Zambia, it is ideal that parents with children with autism do not hide their children in homes, but rather bring them forth to participate in national affairs. Kwalombota Mwanangombe, Prime TV News in Livingstone, Southern Province.
You're watching Prime TV2 News, and we are coming to you live on Topstar Channel 110 and streaming on our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia. We now take a break, but still to come, a police chief inspector under the Victim Support Unit VSU, Peggy Malambo, has testified in court that a 10-year-old girl narrated how she was sexually abused on separate occasions by her biological father and two stepbrothers at their family home in Chawama Compound, Lusaka. Don Kawe.
Before 2022, millions of Zambian children stayed home, not because they didn't want to learn, but because school was unaffordable for many families. Today, things are much better. No more tuition fees, no more PTA fees, and no more examination fees. More than 2.5 million children are back in class across the country, from villages to towns, from the cities to the districts and provinces. Schools are feeding our children and classrooms are full again. And with the Enhanced Constituency Development Fund, communities around Zambia are transforming education. More classrooms are being built, more desks are being made, more teachers are being hired. Because Bali cares. He has delivered this for all children across Zambia. Because free education is not just a policy, it is a promise to every Zambian child, a promise that poverty will not decide their future. A promise delivered.
What do we stand for? We stand for possibility, for the belief that every tomorrow begins with a choice made today. We stand for growth, for curiosity that pushes boundaries, for knowledge that prepares you not just to adapt, but to lead. We stand for community, for minds that don't just think, but connect, for hands that don't just build, but uplift. We stand for experiences that shape you, for friendships that anchor you, for courage that carries you beyond this place. Here you become more than a student. You become a maker of solutions, a believer in dreams, a contributor to something greater than yourself. This is where purpose meets possibility. This is where futures are built. Chas Brookbasar University, where you stand for what matters.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. A police chief inspector under the Victim Support Unit VSU, Peggy Malambo, has testified in court that a 10-year-old girl narrated how she was sexually abused on separate occasions by her biological father and two stepbrothers at their family home in Chawama Compound, Lusaka. Inspector Malambo told the court that the child later tested positive for HIV after medical examinations were conducted following the alleged abuse. She explained that the juvenile made the revelations during a police interview where she also used dolls to demonstrate how the abuse allegedly occurred. The interview, she said, was halted after the child became emotionally stressed while recounting the ordeal. Inspector Marambo was testifying in a matter in which the girl's father, 44-year-old Jamo Piri, is charged with incest, which is contrary to the laws of Zambia. Some residents of Monze district have appealed to the local authority to urgently rehabilitate the dilapidated Kazungula Bridge to allow for the smooth and safe movement of people. Speaking to PTV2 News, one of the residents, Godfrey Chiwele, described the bridge as a death trap, explaining that it becomes impassable whenever it is flooded. Meanwhile, another concerned resident, Auditor Monga, states that the poor condition of the bridge has negatively affected business activities in the area, as many residents rely on Monze town for trade and essential services. John Shikabe has more in the following report.
Residents of Monze Central Constituency in Monze District of Southern Province have expressed their concern over the poor state of the Kazungula Bridge, and they are urging the local authority to take immediate action. In an interview with Prime TV, Godfrey Chiwele highlighted the dangers posed by the bridge and the urgent need for it to be upgraded.
So bridge tunyina kuli bumu pati buli kwa bridge awa bridge liransi twa pati laba umwana menda hongoka honto ali mu nkapu menda kopira so kuli bumu pati mani utromba kubambiri wa bridge ni wala According
to Mr. Chiwele, the Kazungula Bridge has become a death trap for people in the area. In times of heavy rain, the bridge becomes flooded and impassable, leading to a potential disaster for those who need to cross it. This is due to the fact that the bridge was not properly built, causing water to flow on top of it during heavy rainfall. The poor state of the Kazungula Bridge has also affected the transportation of critically ill patients patients to Monze Mission Hospital.
So yakuhwabuyo wandika wakuzipatira kumonze ulaindali kunyina bridge tunyina tatuwete bridge.
Mr. Juele pointed out that the bridge's condition has hindered the smooth movement of ambulances, which could have dire consequences for patients in need of urgent medical attention.
So wajeni wati mulwazi ulijisirike gabo maningi ulako yakutuhira gabo wali kuyandika kuhutuka pona ulako yakuba mugamba kubura road.
Auditor Monga, another concerned resident, highlighted the impact on business. In the area, many people depend on Monze town to conduct their business activities, and the poor state of the bridge has made it difficult for them to travel.
Fertilizer tugaindi kuya unzi ujijere. So mapenzalo indi nokusarwa ma contractors indi iba ma program buri yaya. Aba jane bantu bali very reliable. Otherwise batwetera mapenzi sweto bantu ba muminzi bumi mbobu tuyumina buyambu bonobu.
This has led to a decline in economic activities in the area. Mr. Mongas called on the Monze Town Council to prioritize the upgrading of the Kazungula Bridge. He warned that if action is not taken soon, the area may witness a tragic accident due to the bridge's bad condition. He emphasized the need for the local authority to act swiftly before it is too late. Efforts to get a comment from Monze Town Council failed as they were unavailable for a comment. John Shikabe, Prime TV News in Monze District, Southern Province.
You are watching Prime TV2 News, coming to you live on Top Star Channel 110 and streaming on our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia. Let's now take a look at our African proverb of the day, which is in Jitonga from Southern Province of Zambia. Let's take a look. Interesting. To our viewers, you are welcome to send in your proverbs in any local language, translated into English with the meaning included. You can send them to ptv2@ptvzambia.com or ptv2zambia@gmail.com. We continue with the rest of the news. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has clarified that no province has yet been allocated any of the proposed 70 new constituencies under the ongoing delimitation exercise. Speaking during the launch of the provincial delimitation sittings in Joma, ECZ Chairperson Mangala Zalomis dismissed claims that 30 of the proposed constituencies had already been allocated to Southern Province, describing the allegations as false. Ms. Zalomis explained that the delimitation process is still at a consultative stage, with the Commission currently receiving and consolidating submissions from districts through provincial sittings. We have the details in the following report.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has expressed concern over continued misinformation regarding the delimitation exercise. Speaking when she addressed the stakeholders at a provincial sitting of the delimitation exercise in Choma, Southern Province, ECZ Chairperson Mwangala Zalumis described the allegations that Southern Province has been allocated with 30 new constituencies as mischievous, urging stakeholders to rely only on official communications from the Commission.
The circulation of misinformation alleging that 30 of the proposed new constituencies, I know you'd love that, isn't it, to have 30, have already been allocated to Southern Province. This is in the public domain. Now we don't know where this is coming from because there's no such a thing. Let me state this clearly, firmly, and unequivocally, no allocation of any of the 70 additional constituencies has been made to any province at this moment in time.
And due to the vastness of areas demanding for inclusive development, stakeholders in Southern Province have proposed for the creation of new constituencies in various districts across the province.
We have 14 wards now, and these wards are still very vast, very vast. In some districts, they may actually be called constituencies. So we need an extra constituency in order to lessen the distances that councillors cover, as well as the member of parliament.
You have that between us, but if you're going to win, well, there are a lot of diaspora in you. And even Shibong is doing better than the grandfather.
With 15 districts across Southern Province, including Iteji district with a population of 150,000 people. Other districts vying for delimitation include ZAMBIA, Mazabuka, Chirundu, Siavonga, Kalomo, and Livingstone. Joanne Savila, Prime TV News, Choma District, Southern Province.
We continue with the news. The Road Development Agency, RDA, has commenced the validation of the final impact assessment for the Chinsali-Nakonde Road Rehabilitation Project, a key infrastructure investment aimed at improving trade and socio-economic development along the north-south corridor. Muchinga Province Assistant Secretary Evans Hishilema says the validation process is essential in ensuring that the final report accurately reflect realities on the ground and the experiences of communities along the corridor. The road project, co-financed by the African Development Bank and the government, is designed to enhance regional connectivity, reduce transport costs, and facilitate cross-border trade. More in this report by Richard Simbaya.
Stakeholders have convened in Chinsa District for the first day of the final impact assessment stakeholder validation meetings aimed at reviewing the outcomes of the road infrastructure intervention implemented in the area. The meeting, organized by the Road Development Agency, RDA, has brought together government officials, traditional leaders, and community representatives to validate findings from both transport and social components of the project. Officiating at the meeting, Muchinga Province Assistant Secretary Evans Hishilema emphasized the importance of inclusive development and accountability infrastructure projects.
All project-affected persons have been compensated, demonstrating strong adherence to social safeguards under the able leadership of the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Over 200 youths and women have been trained in the construction-related skills. Ladies and gentlemen, team of engineers present, these investments have already produced significant socio-economic benefits.
Meanwhile, Road Development Agency Chief Communications and Corporate Affairs Manager Anthony Mulolwa says the government remains committed to taking development closer to the people through improved road infrastructure.
It's government's thrust to ensure that trade facilitation is enhanced. And through the Road Development Agency, we are supporting the agenda of the government. And it is also on record that from the time the Chinsali-Nakonde Road project started and has been finished, there's been tremendous reduction in travel times.
Adding this voice, Engineer Isaac Mwapa, Principal Monitoring and Evaluation Officer from the Road Development Agency headquarters, highlighted the significance of the stakeholders' input.
So that the bridges can be expanded to be in line with the new upgraded roads. Again, we have two toll plazas on the corridor, and these toll plazas are already operational. Then we have the way in motion, like the guest of honor indicated. The way bridge at Nakonde, it's also operational. Then on the social component, we had the infrastructures like the health posts, we had the boreholes, we drilled about 30 boreholes, Then we have constructed about 3 truck parks. They are all completed and operational. Then we were to plant 10,000 trees, of which we have already achieved this, and we have planted more than 11,000 trees so far.
Richard ZAMBIA reporting for PTV News, Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
That item from Chinga Province ends the news on Prime TV2, the home of breaking news. But before we go, let's take a recap of stories that made headlines. A 36-year-old woman of Mwilaba village in Kapiri Mponshi district of Central Province has been left homeless after her ex-husband allegedly set her house. Family left homeless after house collapses amid heavy rains in Mansa. The Zambia United States Exchange Alumni Association, ZUSEA, has appealed to parents and guardians of children with autism to stop hiding them in their homes. A police chief inspector under the Victim Support Unit VSU, Peg Malambo, has testified in court that a 10-year-old girl narrated how she was sexually abused on separate occasions by her biological father and 2 step-brothers. Thank you so much for watching, but for these and other stories, like our Facebook page, that is PTV2 Zambia. On behalf of the entire news and the production crew, this has been Mindon Kilano, present viewing.